Hey everyone, it's Leon. In one of my previous videos, I showed you how to implement Flex in the most absolutely simple way. But the example I used, DF on Linux, may not have been the most real-world example I could possibly have shown you. So in this video, I want to show you how to grab some metrics out of something that's a little more real-world or appropriate, and show you how to do that. And it's also something that I think resonates with a lot of us, whether we are officially IT practitioners in the office or just home enthusiasts. Our internet bandwidth, our upload and download speed. So I want to show you how to do that. And the cool part about this is that it is well within the range of the New Relic free tier account. You're not going to be chugging a whole mass of data in there where you might be on the hook to pay for something. So that's a side bonus. First, I want to show you what it really looks like. So let me go do that. What we've got here is this Python speed test. So I am grabbing both my average download speeds and my average upload speeds, and I'm grabbing it every 10 minutes just so that I'm not completely, chewing up all the actual internet on my machine. I wouldn't want to run that every minute, but that's what I'm grabbing, and that's what it looks like. Now, before diving into this, I want to do a quick review of how this works. What we have is a system that we want to monitor and collect some custom metrics off of. That's this little box right here. And on that, we have an agent. It is the New Relic infrastructure agent. Very simple to install, and I have those instructions in a separate video. And on the agent, you actually get, without having to do anything else, the Flex integration, the Flex Software Developer Kit, or SDK. The Flex Kit uses a YAML file, which is just a text file, that tells it what command to run and what data to pick up, and it sends it into New Relic. That's it. That's the whole review. Now, I have other blogs and videos that talk about all those steps: how to install the infrastructure agent, how to check that Flex is running, and how to do a quick, simple test on it. So I'm not going to go over all that now. I'm going to dive right into the actual process. Now, to do that, I wanted to give you some background. The way we're going to collect this internet information is actually using a utility you probably have seen before, Speedtest. It's speedtest.net. It runs on your phone, it runs on your Windows machine, it runs on anything with a browser, and it tells you how fast your internet is running. But what a lot of people don't know is that there's actually a command line interface. You can actually install this local on a system and then run that command interactively. And it will run, again, on Mac or Linux or Windows or whatever. So let me show you what that looks like now. Here I am in my terminal, and I actually have the speed test utility installed. So I just type speed test, hit enter, and I get this really cool interactive screen that shows me, a lot about my system. It shows me that I'm in Cleveland and that my provider is Spectrum, and it shows me the download test, and here it's now going to show me the upload test. And this is all really cool. The problem is that it's very hard to grab data off of an interactive screen like this. But the good news is that the command line actually will output just the raw information. If I just run the command speed test with the format of CSV, comma separated values, it'll take a minute. And it outputs comma-separated values for each of those data points. That's much easier for me to pick up and then parse out and do something with. So that's the command that we're going to be running. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually run it through a script. So here is the script. It's actually a Python script, but I want to make sure you're not hung up on the Python part. The Python part isn't important. I don't care whether you use PowerShell or Perl or anything else. That's not what's important. The only important elements of this are the fact that I'm grabbing out of that output. There's the CSV. The -f CSV command, and I'll just say that the accept license, when you run it interactively, the first time you run it, it asks you to accept the license, and if you're running this on a system that you've never actually touched, then the accept license parameter or command line option will just bypass that. Anyway, you're splitting that information, the output, by commas. And then the other thing I'm doing for download and upload, the number I'm getting is actually the raw bytes. So I have to divide it by 125,000. That gives me the bits per second. And then I'm taking each of those values, the latency, download, upload, and I'm simply outputting it with a space. So what that looks like if I run it interactively There's my script. And you can see I get just those three numbers: the latency, the download bits per second, and the upload bits per second. Those are all the values I want. Okay, great. So I've got the script that's going to give me the numbers I want, and now I need to look at the YAML file. So here is the YAML that we're doing, and again, the name has to be NRI Flex. I want to point out that I've set a 5-minute timeout. This command actually takes longer than the default. The default command length for Flex is 30 seconds. That's not nearly enough for a long-running command like this. So I told it that to give it a 5-minute timeout, just to wait that long for the command to complete, and to run it every 10 minutes. In reality, you probably want to push this to 30 minutes. You don't want to check your internet bandwidth every 10 or 5 or 1 minute. That's ridiculous. But, you know, I wanted to have some data to be able to show for this particular example. The name of this is Linux Speed Test, and then the name of the actual API values is PySpeedTest. This is the important one. This is the one that we're going to use in our NERCL command later. And the command it's running is sudo, because the agent is running under a different context than I am, so I want to make sure it has the right permissions. Python 3, run that script, and I'm giving it the full path just to be sure. I'm going to split the values. I'm going to move this over here so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm splitting the values horizontally, 1, 2, 3. I'm splitting by multiple spaces, 1 or more spaces, and there's the header. This is the thing that I want each of those values to be called: latency, download, upload. And that's how I'm going to find it again in the NERCL. And once again, I want to have a 5-minute or 300 millisecond timeout after running this so that it doesn't cancel it prematurely. Once that YAML file exists on the machine, it's already collecting data. As we saw, that data is coming in. So how do I get to it? Well, we're going to go to the query builder. From what? Well, remember I said that PySpeedTest, this PySpeedTest sample. Flex always puts the word sample at the end of it. Select, we'll start off with star just to see what the data looks like. There's the data. And I can see that my download speed is being collected right there. I can see, there's my latency. And there's my upload. Those are the values that I want to be collecting. Actually, I'm going to leave latency out for the moment because those numbers are completely out of whack with the upload and download. So I'm going to select the average. This is the same as we did in the last. The average download. We've got the average upload. Oh, I have to put a comma between those. There we go. Time series, and when I run this, there are my data points. Now all I have to do is add a chart name and pick what kind of chart I want, whether it's an area, line, stack bar chart. That's what works for this particular type of data. And then add it to a dashboard, which is my Leon Dell dashboard. And again, I already did that, and there it is. It's sitting there collecting data side. So just to summarize, you installed the New Relic infrastructure agent. The Flex integration came automatically. You had it. You moved over into the integrations.d directory, whether it was in program files on Windows or in etc New Relic-infra on Mac OS or Linux. And then you put in your YAML file. And in this case, you have a script that's actually outputting the data you want. Now, again, I'm using Internet Speed Test for this particular example, but I'm sure you can think of multiple examples of homegrown applications that have data outputs that you wanted to bring into New Relic. So I hope this gives you a few more ideas. I'm looking forward to hearing from you and the interesting things that you're able now to show and alert on and display. And until next time, thanks for watching.